I've thought of talking some Dragon Ball on the show for quite a while, and what better place to start than its beginning? Told for the third time. Because I have to. Dragon Ball movies are kinda strange because they can't fit in with the series, even remotely. Most of the Dragon Ball Z movies as well can't really fit in with the series' timeline because the characters were tied up in other situations during the time period the movie's story occurs. However, Dragon Ball movies get even more screwy as they retell parts of the series' story and even change some of the characters' relations, such as the Chinese vampirish little weirdo Chaozu. Instead of just being a training partner of Tien like in the regular story, in the movies he was the emperor of a country called Mifan. Though that didn't stop the English dub from confusingly still referring to him as an emperor once.
The first wish was used to bring back the young Emperor Chaozu.
Is that okay? As a matter of fact, it isn't.
Oh, shut up, Tien. You just go back to waiting for your arm to inexplicably regrow.
You just wait till it grows back!
So the first three Dragon Ball movies picked up in different parts of the original Dragon Ball story, but then the movie-specific plot would start instead of the usual events. However, the fourth movie, Path to Power, was a little different as it was released way after the previous three during Dragon Ball GT's run for the 10th anniversary of the Dragon Ball series. So instead of picking another point in the Dragon Ball story and having the events change, they retold the beginning. Again. So with the original adaptation of the story in the anime, the first Dragon Ball movie, The Curse of the Blood Rubies, and this, The Path to Power, it makes it the third time Bulma has ran into Goku with her vehicle. I assume she only ever got her license because Daddy paid for it, as her family's kinda rich, being the founders of the Capsule Corporation, which is a company that created the technology that allows you to carry everything from a vehicle to small houses even within a tiny capsule. Naturally, with only having the small fame and power from a tiny creation like that, Bulma decides she needs to search the earth for magical balls to give her a wish. And lucky for Bulma, her parents pretty much give no shits as she told them, "Hey, I'm going off to scour the earth for magic balls, and I'm doing it dressed like this. But don't worry, I'll only use sex appeal as a weapon if I run into little boys, transforming pigs, strange mountain men, or crazy old perverts."
Sounds good, Bulma. Just get me some cigarettes while you're out. The censor's got my last pack.
But really, it's kind of amazing to think that the beginning of Dragon Ball has been done slightly different 3 different times. Well, okay, 4 if you want to count that live-action Dragon Ball Goku's Wacky High School misadventures. But does anyone actually want to do that? The Path to Power also sports some noticeable stylistic changes when you compare it to the rest of the series. One of the things you can tell about the animation is it's got that kind of Dragon Ball GT look to it, which makes sense since it was made during that series, and Goku even starts wearing his outfit from GT in this. And considering that the beginning part of GT seemed like it was trying to recreate the original Dragon Ball, it's not really a surprise they made a movie doing exactly that during its run. Though you'd think making the Path to Power would have been enough for them, but hey, at least we don't have Black Star Balls here. You know, the super useful will blow up your planet if you make a wish with them balls that are created by Namek if he creates the Dragon Balls before splitting into 2 people. What the fuck am I talking about? Just like when the guru of Namek made Black Star Balls cause he wasn't split into 2 people. Oops.
Hey, come on guys! Don't piss off the god of love. Right.
While I could spend the entirety of this video just taking shots at GT, I probably should move on to the other changes, like Bulma's hair. This is the only anime version of her with the purple hair, which is how it appeared in a lot of early colorings of the character. Though this wasn't extremely consistent, as there's also some colorings with the more anime cyanish blue color, and even some depicted her with red hair. And thus ends my Dragon Ball history of Bulma's hair. I hope you found it as enthralling as I did. A few other characters had some change-ups as well, like Staff Officer Black here getting hair. And yes, Black. I wonder how they came up with that name. At least the color for a name was a thing for the leaders in the Red Ribbon Army, but strangely a promo picture for the movie still shows a bald Black and Commander Red with white hair. I'm guessing they didn't go through with that change as it'd kinda negate the tie-in to his name. Anyway, let's actually start going through this. Now, anyone who knows Dragon Ball, of course knows.
Zero is our hero.
My name is Zero, King of the Deep.
Let's just pretend we never saw that.
Weird elephant.
You should be more careful on the road, kiddo!
Whoa, the weird elephant's talking!
Okay, since Goku grew up in the mountains, at this point he's not very familiar with a lot of things, so he mistakes Bulma's vehicle for some kind of monster, but the dub for some reason went with him calling it an elephant a couple of times here. Yeah, I got nothing.
Try to hijack me!
Okay, wow. I kinda have two thoughts on Bulma's attempted murder here. One, yeah, sure, if something threw your vehicle, you might want to protect yourself, but can you imagine if Goku wasn't a super-powered elephant?
Holy fuck, I just murdered a child!
Luckily for her, really, Goku is slightly bulletproof, and they make nicey-nice after he's assured she's not an elephant. And at Goku's pad, she sees he's got the 4-star ball, so explains if you get all 7 balls together, a dragon will pop out and grant you a wish, which Goku accepts rather well, seeing as he couldn't even fathom a motor vehicle earlier this day.
The book said the last guy to have a wish became the king of an entire nation, but I've got a better wish.
What is it?
Well, I decided always being covered by strawberries wasn't practical, so I'm asking for the perfect man.
Yeah, I've always thought that if I didn't want to be covered in strawberries, I might as well get myself a man. This kinda non-sequitur line here is actually a reference to Bulma's original wish in the regular storyline, where she first thought of wishing for a lifetime supply of strawberries. But when that's not explained at all in this movie, it comes off pretty random. And far out ridiculous things don't belong in Dragon Ball. Bulma must have axed that wish when she, remembered the sorta kinda rich thing. She could probably get a fair amount of strawberries at the fucking mansion. But still, horny guys looking for girlfriends are pretty hard to come by, so she'll still need to make a wish for a man. However, Goku believes his grandfather's spirit resides in the 4-star ball, so doesn't really want to give it up. And that's when Bulma Briefs lives up to her brief's name by showing hers.
So why are you showing me your butt?
I do love Goku's complete disinterest in Bulma trying to seduce him. However, I do like him calling her butt dirty in the regular timeline more.
What do I care about seeing your dirty old fanny?
Fanny? Goku, you realize you can't say that in England, therefore you can't say it anywhere. Besides, over there it means cunt.
Getting through all the dangers we'll face will be the best training in the whole world. Let's start the adventure.
It'll be the adventure of all time.
No, Dragon Ball knows better than to do some messed up time travel story.
What's your name?
Bulma.
Bulma? That's a funny name.
I'm really embarrassed of my name. That's why I wear a dress with my name on it. In fact, almost every outfit I wear in this has my name on it, because I don't want people to know.
This is also a joke that doesn't really translate quite right, as the reason Goku finds her name so funny is Bulma basically comes out to meaning bloomers. Yeah, they're a cruel family at the Briefs household. So the way the story normally follows is a strange little blue guy named Emperor Phelous was also after the Dragon Balls as well, but the path to power removes him completely as they are merging and condensing the beginning of the story, like meeting Oolong, the shape-shifting pig, with the Red Ribbon Army saga. The Red Ribbon Army being a ruthless organization whose leader is out for the Dragon Balls, which is also another short guy, but instead of being blue, he's red! Commander Red!
I was in the middle of a death threat. Now give me the capsules.
We don't have them.
You were driving a number 9 bike and those always come in sets.
I may live in the mountains, but I know everything about every capsule set ever made. And don't you dare tell me you separated that set. That's not possible. Yamcha, like a lot of the earlier characters, kinda got left behind as the series progressed, which I never really liked. Yamcha in particular ended up being turned into a complete wimp, running away with the people who can't fight. Then again, he has a paralyzing fear of women at this point, so maybe Yamcha was always kinda useless.
I found it!
3 more and I get my man!
Goku was always a very happy-go-lucky character, especially as a kid, but man, half of his dialogue being gets a bit grating after a while. They arrive at the Red Ribbon Army's overhauled Muscle Tower, and Goku makes the discovery they have androids there in his usual subtle manner.
I can see their parachutes. They're okay.
As this is the only Dragon Ball movie that was made after Z, I found it kind of strange they never tried to include Dr. Gero anywhere in the Red Ribbon Army here. Dr. Gero was apparently one of the main scientists behind the Red Ribbon Army and the creator of their androids, but you never actually saw him in Dragon Ball. It wasn't until Z that he showed up looking for revenge because of Goku bringing the army down. Also, Dragon Ball even showed a different scientist, Dr. Flap, as supposedly being the one who created Android 8. Oops! They sorta tried to tie this together by saying later that Flap worked with Gero, and only this super worked together for reals team could give us the brilliant idea of... But rockets. I wonder if old Android 8 needed a steady supply of Preparation H around. Also, yeah, this guy might sorta remind you of someone. And that is... Robert Kopp? Android 8 is a gentle person at heart, though, if he has a heart. And he doesn't feel like completely choking Goku out. He must not have been listening to his non-stop laughing earlier.
I don't want to do anything cruel.
So what's your pick, Android number 8? Your life or his?
I want to live, but not at the price of cruelty.
Die!
Our battle was good, but
but I don't want to fight you or anyone.
Really? That's weird. Why not?
Okay, I think that's my favorite Goku line of the movie.
Hey, I know. Why don't we call you Ader?
I think I like it.
Ader! Ader!
Afterwards, they meet up with a talking turtle who they return to the sea, and he asks them to wait there for a reward. You know, the usual Saturday. So that night, extreme cultural barriers on a joke happen. Goku apparently used to lay his head in his grandfather's crotch all the time, so when he goes to do this to Bulma, it feels kinda different. But the fact he used to do that with his grandfather isn't mentioned in this movie, so it's just kinda weird. Because it was extremely normal that he used to lay his head in his grandfather's balls. And the extreme Japaneseness continues as Goku screams about Bulma not having balls, and the joke being that she awakens to think he means the Dragon Balls are gone. Guess you had to be there. No! Actually, the main payoff to this is when the turtle brings Master Roshi in the morning and his pervy side shows when he agrees to give Bulma his Dragon Ball if she flashes him her panties. But of course, she's not wearing them anymore. Oh boy. My favorite take on this scene is actually in the other movie, which kind of combines it with a scene from later. This time Roshi asks her to see her breasts, and Bulma makes Oolong transform into her to do it. So instead of the joke being on the girl being asked to flash herself, it's on the old pervert. However, this scene does also contain the ultimate joke.
Oh, looky! It's like a giant, beautifully fried egg yolk.
Whatever that was. Alright, here's my actual favorite joke in this scene.
Fly to me, bird of immortality.
Master, didn't the bird of immortality die last year of compounded food poisoning?
Oh yeah.
Plus, it's always a great time when Goku's an idiot.
Cool. Can we eat it now?
Yeah. It's not food, you dummy!
The Red Ribbon ass butts immediately fuck shit up afterwards, and this is where Master Roshi shows off the Kamehameha wave. Though they clearly say Kamehameha here.
Did you see that? I did the Kamehameha just like you.
Oh yeah, and Goku could just immediately do a giant Kamehameha like Roshi without training because, well, this is a movie and we had to condense a bit. The military of ribbons that are red continues their attack, KOing Goku, and are about to take the rest hostage, but they forgot one thing. Yamcha.
It is! The cutie boy who tried to rob us! He's back! Hey!
Excuse me! I'm trying to give a captivating speech!
Okay, Yamcha is definitely always useless. After this big success by General Blue here, how else would they reward him but by having him drug out onto the street and shot?
Take this idiot away.
Wait, sir! How can you do this? Wait! Please! What is that?
Oh, did you think I was joking? Yeah, this is just full of everything that flies in children's programming over here, especially these days, sex and death. But don't worry, if we talk down to children in cartoons, it'll prepare them much better to be miserable monsters on the internet. Obviously, a lot of these things get censored when Dragon Ball is shown on television. This movie is just lucky, though, it didn't commit the ultimate sin and show someone thinking of an apple tree.
Look, I can see their parachutes. They're okay. Look, I can see their parachutes. They're okay.
That area may have been evacuated, but it'll give him something to think about.
Oh my gosh! What happened to the base?
Too bad it's Sunday. those buildings would have been filled up tomorrow.
Blast it! I'll never be 7'5".
You were going to wish for height?
Commander Red is really sensitive about his height, so he probably shouldn't have had that statue of himself made outside. Nor should he have admitted that he's been wasting everyone's time. Some people don't take that very well.
I can't commit treason, you bum! I am the Red Ribbon Army!
Well, Black took that all right this time. I mean, he could have shot Red right between the eyes.
Look, I can see their parachutes. They're okay.
Still, the news doesn't sit that great with Black as he goes slightly bonkers and tries to kill everyone in a mech suit. And that's why you don't leave your mech suits out in the open for any of your employees to nab and run wild with. Workplace safety, Red. You deserved getting shot.
Too bad it's Sunday.
For years I've endured his humiliating orders when clearly it is I who is destined to rule a Black Ribbon Army!
Piccolo, what are you doing here? Yerp, it seems like Chris Sabat was falling into his Piccolo voice a little here. But Black forgot one thing. Yamcha.
Yamcha, the most Zero Dragon Ball Z character!
I mean, Black forgot one thing. Ass rockets!
Who's that? This entire Red Ribbon Army must be dismantled. My name is Ader.
Well, you sure Yamcha'd that one, didn't you, Ader? But seriously, Ader's sacrifice of himself to save everyone makes Goku... Go Super Saiyan? Yeah, it's only slightly early for that. The first time watching this movie, I really thought that's exactly what was going to happen. The scene is very reminiscent of Goku's first time going Super Saiyan after Frieza's murder of Krillin.
Help me! I won't let you get away with this! What?
And this is kind of weird because while this screamy power-up is a staple and constant joke of Dragon Ball Z, it's something that really didn't happen in the original Dragon Ball.
What?
Don't worry, kids. Goku only killed him to the next dimension, where he's burning in HFIL.
This is the land of no return!
And we run the home for the infinite losers.
Whoa, Mondo, cool!
Now that they've pried the Dragon Balls from the Red Ribbon corpses, they have all 7, but Bulma realizes she doesn't need to make a wish anymore because she's already found the perfect man. Yamcha, Vegeta. Yep, you were useless as a boyfriend too, Yamcha, but now Bulma will be forever happy with a man who sulks around in corners all the time.
Don't get carried away.
What are you looking at?
Maybe you should make that wish, Bulma. Nah, instead a more important wish is made.
Mr. Dragon, I've got one. This is my friend Ader. My wish is that you bring him
The world's most comfortable pair of ultra soft...
Then Goku does go Super Saiyan and kills Oolong. Yup. It really happened. That's why I'm showing it to you right now, and this is not a talking head shot. Ader gets revived by the dragon, making the first wish slightly more meaningful than the one that happened in the actual series. And if you forgot this was made during Dragon Ball GT, well, the Japanese theme song is probably the best part of the entirety of Dragon Ball GT, so there's that. This movie is a decent sum up of two sagas in Dragon Ball, but it really is strange to constantly have retellings of the beginning of the series. I get it sort of for an anniversary, but I don't understand the idea behind doing all these minor tweaks to characters' designs. However, if you want to sort of get the gist of the original Dragon Ball series without actually watching all 153 episodes, this is the best way. Well, besides the Korean live-action retelling of the tale, there's your real version number 4 of it. That one includes what was really missing in all these damn versions of the story, like Poir here telling us that smoking is cool. And it has the most critical character to the story, Nappa. What is the original Dragon Ball story without Nappa, the character who was never in it?
How dare I say that? I won't let me get away with this!
I don't want to finish.
Hey guys, I've sorta kinda been let go from the Z-Fighters, so I was thinking maybe I could join the Ghostbusters.
Negative.
Yeah, we'd even let that jackass over there on the team before we let you on, Yamcha. Really? Him? Enough of this shit. Light him up, boys.
I just want you to know, I'm having a wonderful time.
Look, I can see their parachutes. They're okay.